Hello, welcome to this New Year's update from Force 13 in this early January period. I hope you're doing well and I hope you enjoyed the festive period. It's been an extremely busy period for Force 13, of course, and not only because of Noct 10 and whatever else might have been happening, but also because we've been busy compiling this, the 2016 World Cyclone Report, which is our latest report on everything that happened in 2016 worldwide, and covers a massive 49 pages explaining exactly what happened around the world. I'll just read to you what it says on page 3 with background. Activity in 2016 has been near average, influenced by a waning El Nino event that towards the end of the year began to display locally La Nina type conditions in the equatorial eastern Pacific. This, however, was not reflected elsewhere, and overall tropical sea surface temperatures remained above normal. Comparatively, during 1998 and 99, which had entered a significant La Nina event after the extreme El Nino event of 1997, those years saw slightly lower storm totals than in 2016, which is pretty interesting. So, the year just passed saw 98 tropical cyclones, of which 87 were tropical storms, 44 of hurricane strength, and 25 of major hurricane strength. That compares to 115 tropical cyclones, 98 tropical storms, 55 hurricanes, and 39 majors in 2015. Lower in 2016 in almost every regard. In fact, if not in every regard. The lingering of warmer waters contributed to two unusual formations in January, as I'm sure we're all aware, Hurricanes Alex and Pali. It could also be attributed in part to Category 5 storms Winston and Fantala as well in February and April. The Western Pacific saw its first storm of the year on July the 3rd after a 199.5 day gap. This is 6 hours short of the gap seen in 1997-98 and is the fifth longest gap between storms on record in the basin after 1916-17, 224 days, 1888-89, 235 days, and 1896-97, which is the record holder at 244 days of absence. However, the storm that did form, of course, became the first of 5 Category 5 typhoons in the Western Pacific in 2016. The Atlantic concluded with 3 major hurricanes in a row, Hurricanes Matthew, Nicole and Otto, which we assessed to be a Category 3. And the report covers that in detail on page number... I'll have to get to that one. Page number 34 covers Otto in detail. In mid-September, an unusual subtropical storm formed as well in the Bay of Biscay and made landfall in southern France before rapidly dissipating. That's covered on page 29. There were also 2 weak cyclones in the southern Atlantic this year, Denny and Isai. Near the beginning of the year, Force 13 predicted a higher than usual chance of a major hurricane affecting Hispaniola, the Bahamas and the Leeward Islands. This possibility verified in the case of all but the latter when Hurricane Matthew traversed through the area in early October. Early indications also showed a high chance of tropical activity in Bermuda, which was received late in the year by Hurricane Nicole. The prediction also showed a high chance of tropical activity reaching Atlantic Canada, but this did not verify. Early in the year, predictions were also made for the Western Pacific, projecting above average activity around the northern Philippines, the South China Sea, the Ryukyu Islands and Kyushu, Japan. The prediction also noted that activity east of 150 degrees east would be unlikely. Most of these predictions verified, though notably it did not quite pick up on the probability of activity near Taiwan, which of course was very prevalent throughout 2016. The latter part of the year also saw some activity with notable Atlantic, Western Pacific and Indian Ocean storms. Matthew formed near the end of September and made the strongest landfall in Haiti since Hurricane Cleo of 1964. Matthew also caused flooding in the southeastern US, with water levels in some areas setting new records. Hurricane Otto formed near the end of the official hurricane season in November in the far southwestern Caribbean. Whilst at first appearing to resemble Hurricane Martha of 1969, Otto eventually moved westwards and didn't make landfall in Panama, but actually in southern Nicaragua, becoming the furthest south major hurricane in the basin and the second furthest south hurricane landfall in the Atlantic. Finally, Typhoon Knock 10 finished off the year's activity in the Western Pacific, becoming a Category 5 storm and making landfall in the Philippines over the Christmas period. That's just a background of what happened during 2016 in the World Cyclone Report. That's only one page out of the 49, and I hope you enjoy that. Also, obviously it's a new year. We're looking for new people to join our fold in terms of presenting and behind the scenes and anything that you can really come up with yourself as well. If you've got any ideas for the project or anything you think you could benefit us with, that would be much appreciated. Of course, you can contact us on any of our social mediums, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Search Force13 all in text or add Fool13 on Skype. In the early part of this year, we're hopefully going to be bringing in new more live events, preferably most days of the week. We're probably going to be doing live events very soon, and those will be covering a variety of subjects. I believe we've got cyclone history, guess the storm, amongst many other things that I've already forgotten about. I can't think right now, but of course there's going to be many new things coming up when there aren't any storms active, and obviously when there are storms active we're going to be committed to doing those updates regularly, and of course on the 24-hour streaming service if it becomes necessary. Also, we're going to be having new features such as the Nowcast project, as well as more what might have been full season animations. I know the 2016 Pacific Typhoon season animation is well on the way, and of course new storm updates, and we'll be jazzing things up a little bit as well throughout the year too. Hopefully you'll enjoy the changes. That's all for now, and we'll talk again soon.